everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. I'm your host, Nicole. We're Geeks Who Drink, and here's how this works. In the first round, our director, AJ, will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives. We panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of the 2 minutes, we will decide on our final answer, and AJ will let us know whether or not we're right. Lather, rinse, repeat. If you're watching us live, we're watching the chat. Chime in if you have anything witty or interesting to say about the question, but please don't shout out the answers. We like to be wrong all by ourselves. Before we get started, let's meet the panel. Because it had to happen eventually, we brought together the Erics. It's Keel and Cohen. Do you guys ever have trouble telling yourselves apart?
Yeah, I often look in the mirror and wonder who I am.
There is no technically only correct. Nice. You're also both Eric K's, so if we were in middle school, it would be a real problem.
It's infuriating.
Have you ever been in a class with another Eric K?
Not that I can recall, no. I hope I never am in the future.
Yeah, just the one at this company has been enough for confusing emails and being tagged on the wrong conversations.
It's a living nightmare.
Oof. Well, fortunately, someone who doesn't have that problem, it's Leah, who must be celebrating this numerically significant date, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And also National Cook a Sweet Potato Day. What a coincidence. They fell on the same day.
Cook 2 sweet potatoes.
Cook 2 sweet potatoes. That is correct. And yeah, I've never been in the same classroom as another Leah, let alone a Leah P.
I had a job. I worked customer service at a grocery store, and there were 9 of us, and there were 3 Nicoles.
Wow.
That was horrible. I'd never in my life been in a class with another Nicole, and then I had that job, and I didn't know what to do. Yeah, well, sorry that, I'm glad that you didn't have that trauma, just me. Without further ado, AJ, can we have our first question?
Sure thing, Nicole. Your first question of the evening. Saying Don Quixote is the most metal fictional character that I know. Christopher Lee once recorded brutal covers of a couple songs from what mid-60s musical?
I just really like this quote.
What makes Don Quixote particularly metal is my question.
He doesn't care what society thinks.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He tilts windmills.
Yeah, he's a delusional old man.
Yeah, but you know, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Great point. Yeah, as I recall, those if he like slain the windmills, that would be metal. But just getting destroyed by them, I don't know. That's something more sad. That's more like a prog rock thing to me, like tilting into windmills and getting bounced back.
If you haven't listened to Christopher Lee's metal songs, they're amazing.
It can only be, right?
Do you know this one?
I do.
You didn't know we had a fan on the panel.
It just proves that Christopher Lee could do anything he ever wanted. The only person stopping him was Christopher Lee.
He did over 200 films, I think. So he very rarely stopped himself either.
And apparently appeared as Dracula more than anyone else.
Oh.
You think it's Bela Lugosi, it's not.
So let me tell you that I've never heard of Christopher Lee before.
That's the only thing I know about him.
Saruman and Lord
Literally the only thing I know about him.
And I also hate musicals. Pero I majored in Spanish and did take a whole quarter on Don Quixote, which doesn't, I don't think that's why I know the answer, but it is like a way in which I could have presumably come to this answer, which I think I know.
Also, James Bond supposedly was based on Christopher Lee,
who appeared in a James Bond film.
Interesting.
Yes.
How old is he?
He's deceased now, unfortunately.
But
So
he would like
that doesn't answer my question.
92 or something.
A good long time, certainly. Yeah.
Is it Man of La Mancha?
Yeah, unless there's a different Don Quixote musical.
Yeah.
That's the only one I'm aware of.
Only one I know of too.
All right, AJ, are we right?
You are right. It is Men of La Mancha.
Yay. What do we have next?
Your next question. Eagle and Fox is number 1 in the Perry Index, which catalogs the work of what ancient Greek?
Well, they probably all wrote about eagles and foxes at some point, right?
That's what
There
they
are
had.
there are only so many things. There's no
Yeah.
computers
I
that write
mean,
about.
yeah.
No
Like,
iPhones,
what do you-
no
what did you do?
cryptocurrency.
What do you do when you have no computer? You know,
Yeah.
there's no internet. Eagles and foxes.
Aeschylus would.
I know that's when I was 13 years old. That's all I thought about because we had no internet.
Aeschylus would look up and say, "Oh, should I write about Ariana Grande's Fortnite concert? No, hasn't been invented yet. All right, Foxes it is then."
So here's the thing. If it's called the Perry Index, this is really misnamed. Why isn't it named for the person who wrote the things?
I imagine Perry was
Like,
the
I
person who
guess,
created the index.
Yeah, but like that's
So
really
he-
selfish, Perry.
So in one sense, he did write the things. Well, maybe he's indexing other things as well that also fit the things. You know, the things fit in the things.
Catalog knowledge is an important contribution, and the Geeks Who Drink, we take it very seriously.
So who could it be? Some Greeks.
Indexers are very important people in the editorial community. Never
Let's
did
look
it
for
myself,
indexers.
but yeah.
Sophocles? Just naming Greeks.
Sophocles,
Armand
Well,
Asante.
Aristophanes
would
wrote a
guess
play called The
it's-
Frogs, famously.
Well, I would guess it might be someone who wrote other stories about other animals like tortoises and hares and so forth.
Many of them in this this naming format.
Yes, maybe
Scorpion and the Frog.
grasshoppers and whatever the grasshopper was also with. I don't
That sounds
remember one.
plausible if you can
Yeah.
name a person who did that.
The Marmoset and the Thompson's Gazelle, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that one.
The sloth and the chupacabra.
That's a dangerous combination.
Mhm.
Our producer has said that the index was created by Ben Edwin Perry, a professor of classics at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Well, let me tell you, if I make an index, I'm sure as hell named it after me.
Well, as
Thanks,
you should.
Perry.
Holiday Index is
Well,
a nice ring to it. I
yeah.
think you should.
Yeah.
Oh,
TM,
absolutely.
TM, nobody steal it.
Oh, mail it to yourself.
Even all the other holidays out there.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd index, but if you have ideas, put them in the chat. Leah, what Greek is this?
I'm guessing it's Aesop.
Oh, that guy.
Gotta be Aesop.
AJ, is it that guy?
It is Aesop.
Known for his fables?
Who may not have really existed, but if he did, this is indexing his works.
Oh, so it could be like a bunch of people that wrote things that are
That could
attributed to him?
be, it could be he's sort of a character created to bring all these stories that, you know, these folkloric stories together. It could be bit of fact, bit of fiction. Hard to know now.
But he does
Mhm.
have a good bit of an of a biography, so it's not just the name that was created; it was a whole backstory for him. So
Absolutely.
if he's fictional, somebody really put their work into it.
I remember that backstory mentioned that he was very ugly, which I thought was a petty thing to throw in there. This great master of literature. Yeah, but not so much in the looks department. Sorry about that.
They had to bring him down a notch so his ego wouldn't get too big.
Man, there maybe.
All right, AJ, what is our third question?
Your third question of the evening. Elie Wiesel describes a boy stealing bread from his own father in what brutal Holocaust memoir?
Downer.
Elie Wiesel. This is a book that keeps getting banned because people don't like teaching the truth.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. White people don't like being uncomfortable about stuff.
Nope.
That's
What?
kind of the thing.
But also, this is like Europe.
Yeah.
like that's guys. What?
Mm.
Like, I understand you don't want to talk about slavery here, I guess, but like, for real?
Well, Jewish people get othered too. So
Yeah, they do.
there's-
But it's like you can blame Germany if you want.
If you want, but I think there's a lot of over-identification with Germany. Wow, this is the most serious we've gotten on technically correct in a while.
There's not many humorous routes you can take a Holocaust memoir, unfortunately.
They took us to this dark place.
There's also been some controversy around Weissel himself in recent years, unfortunately. So this is just a dark question through and through.
Why didn't you ask about Mouse?
I'm depressed talking about it. Yeah, that's a nice cheery one. Yeah.
Because this was the question that was written, before Eric was deep into his job.
Oof.
It was a rough phase.
Did anybody have to read this book in school? I did.
I didn't have to. I read it when I was either in college or right out of it, I believe.
Yeah, so I didn't actually meet anybody Jewish until I was in college. Because Central Ohio, Irish Catholic suburb. But
nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I know. But it's weird because I feel like it was just vaguely, like, my impression was that it was like well taught, but maybe that was just because everyone was like, it's an abstraction. I don't know. Yeah. But the book, I remember being not enjoying the book, right? Appreciating the book.
I think that's about as far as you can take it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to answer?
I believe it's Night.
Night.
The aptly named Night. Very, very dark book.
Dark.
It is Night.
Yay. I mean, golf clap. Look, we know.
I mean, respectful moment of silence. That's what I meant.
Yeah, we know about books that they don't want us to read, which is part of the battle. So that's good. Whoever they is. All right. Can we ask a cheerier question?
Absolutely. Purple chicken riding warriors battle the evil Death Adder in Golden Axe. Perhaps best known for giving arcade cred to what Sega system?
Geeks Who Drink. We have variety.
Well, that was a real pick-me-up, I got to admit.
Yes. Anything that starts with purple chickens. I'm going to start every question I write with purple chickens from now on.
Yeah, classic sword and sorcery arcade game. Had a dwarf with a jaunty green helmet carrying a battle axe. He rode around on dinosaurs also, I believe. Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. This is a linguistic problem, a syntax issue. Mm-hmm. Are the chickens purple? Or
the chickens were purple, I believe.
Not the warriors.
I don't recall anyone being purple in the main cast.
When you said that, I thought you were going to argue, are the chickens riding the warriors or the warriors riding the chicken?
Oh.
Well, now, if I had meant that the warriors were purple, I would have said purple, comma, chicken riding warriors.
Yeah.
So since there's no comma, we can.
It's the dash.
Probably the chickens.
The chicken dash riding. For me.
Yeah, the hyphen is part of it. Purple chicken riding. Yeah, it doesn't work without a hyphen at all.
Yeah,
that has to be there. But yeah, it's still grammatically ambiguous because the comma is optional. But in this case, it would have settled the who's purple in this question.
Also, the context helps. It's somehow more plausible that the chickens are purple.
Yeah.
In this game, all bets were, believe me, all bets were off in this game. It was bonkers. I mean, it's basically a game designed to steal all your quarters anyway, but it was.
The characters kind of came in every color of the rainbow.
Yeah, there was a green dwarf. There was I think it was a blue barbarian and a red barbarian lady. Not many clothes on the latter two. Very skimpily clad. Very sort of Conan the Barbarian look about them. Yeah, this was a simpler time before entertainment was invented. You had to settle for games like that.
Eric K, do you want to answer?
Oh, you've done it now.
Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
It was the Sega Genesis. We also would have accepted Mega Drive.
If you're a dirty European, you might say Mega Drive.
What does it mean? Is that what it was called there?
Yeah, and in Japan, I think they also call it the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
All the foreign markets. I think we may be the only ones who call it the Genesis.
Oh.
You know, Bible thing maybe.
The only thing I
and
know.
when you were a kid during this time frame, you were either a Super Nintendo family or you were a Genesis family.
The Capulets and the
one had
Montagues, it really
both.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, my uncles had a Super Nintendo, but I did know people that had Sega, but I'm a little on the younger side. Like I'm like in the next generation of games, like N64. But the only thing I know about Sega is Sonic, basically.
Yeah, I
And
don't
unless
think
you
we
had a
had
Sega Genesis, that's really the only thing lasting from Sega Genesis days.
I don't think we had a game system after the original Nintendo. That's how old I am.
Oh, you really missed out. Yeah.
Oh, I
think
had
we
a Game
original one,
Boy, but
too.
we never got anything after that.
Only know Sonic from Sega. Wow, you missed out on a whole universe of worthless trash that they put out that isn't called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, they're all going to be apps for my phone someday, so
My
Alrighty.
uncles,
probably
my uncles
already
did
are.
have original Nintendo, and I remember this because they played Duck Hunt, which you have to be careful
Absolutely.
about how quickly you say.
Like
Not
my
on the
grandpa-
internet.
My grandfather used to sit in his like rocking chair from half a room away and blast Duck Hunt and take a perfect score every time. It was uncanny.
Aw, what
I
a
miss
nice
you. I miss you,
dog.
Grandpa. Yeah.
Oh,
What a champion.
His legacy persists.
Yeah. We remember him still.
All right, AJ, I think we have one more technically correct round question.
Yes, this is in fact the last question of the round. Stranger Than Paradise was the second film by what indie darling who made Broken Flowers and Ghost Dog?
Indie Darling is right. Yeah. I'm seeing Broken Flowers at when I was in college at the smallest theater in the city. They call it the Little Theater with good reason. And it just showed.
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure I saw it at Albuquerque's smallest theater, which is the Guild.
Yeah, all they showed was like mumbly indie stuff like Broken Flowers. Good movie though, definitely worth a watch. Bill Murray as a broken down Don Juan. I think that was actually may have been his character's name in the film. A little on,
So
on
it's
the nose.
not lost in translation?
It's not lost in translation. It bears many similarities. I think he's looking for his lost daughter, his daughter he never met, or something like that.
It's like he gets an anonymous letter from a kid he didn't know he ever had. And so he basically goes through all of his exes to
Trying to find who her
try and
mother is.
figure out who it
That's
is.
right.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, now we've summarized the plot of Broken Flowers. We can a film nobody saw.
Describe the plot of Ghost Dog really quick now.
isn't that the one with Forrest Whitaker as a samurai?
Yes.
Okay,
That sounds
that's
appealing.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen that one, but
that's the only title of the three that I remember.
which it must be fascinating.
I mean, what
that
more
premise.
do you need to know?
I would watch Forrest Whitaker do almost anything. Samurai.
The director in question has uncanny hair, sort of like David Lynch. Actually, it has real like elevation and lift to it.
There's like a Hollywood club of the people who all looked like that. And I forget the name of it. AJ probably knows.
There's an actual name for this? I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah. Now I gotta look it up.
Who's the third person on that? Who's the Aramis in this Three Musketeers of directors?
Other Eric K. Do you
While
want
he-
to?
while he's looking it up?
Which Eric
wanna
are you
enlighten us?
othering?
The one that didn't answer last time.
Aha.
I believe it's Jim Jarmusch.
All right, Jim Jarmusch.
It is Jim Jarmusch.
Some great movies there.
Check out Broken Flowers. Definitely worth a watch.
Broken Flowers is great. Only Lovers Left Alive. Coffee and Cigarettes.
Also good.
Oh, I have heard of that one.
Dead Man, if you can stomach
Yeah.
Johnny Depp anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're asking a lot. Well, with that, it's time for our first ad break. See you back here in a few. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across this great land just about every night and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. We also have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can book us, that's right, us, these people here, to do a private event virtually or in person. For details on all that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com and follow us on the socials. Now, time for Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but no more teamwork. Everyone's in it for themselves. That means you, Erics. No collabos.
Never.
We'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat and we'll throw them in the mix. At the end of the timer, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right. You don't have to do that at home, though. You can just be wrong at home. No one has to know. AJ, start us off.
Our first question for the technically incorrect round. Douse pork sausage in ketchup and cover it with a certain spice blend to get what famous Berlin street treat?
I don't think of Germany as a place with street food, and maybe that's my bad. I mean, like, they got pretzels, right?
I've never been. Yeah, they must have pretzels. Although it's not in Bavaria, right? So it's not like the heart of pretzel country.
That sure could use a pretzel involved, though. I mean, there's a lot going on there, so why not throw in a pretzel too?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
Soak up all the beer. You probably consumed all the cheap Weiss beer.
But beer is bread.
So the beer soaks itself up?
Yeah, right? Didn't people used to get paid in beer, right?
Yeah.
Stuff, so
Often, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got hired by this company.
they used to pay you in people are still getting paid in beer, like Eric Cohen.
Supposedly the people who worked in the pyramids were paid in beer, or at least partly.
Holy shit, I just figured out the answer. It just hit me.
Oh, what was the pyramids? You think it's a Toblerone? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's
Toblerone.
probably not a Toblerone.
That way they're shaped that way is because they come from Giza.
Absolutely. This is the only explanation possible. The thing is, like, everything, and there's so many sausages to go through in that kind of German cuisine. A schnitzel.
You're the worst.
There's a. No, I've lost all my momentum now.
Everything's better with ketchup, though.
Why ketchup? Oh.
No, ketchup
Because
only tastes like
everything's-
ketchup.
Well,
Ketchup makes
that's the idea.
everything taste like ketchup.
Well, so if you like ketchup, then everything, you know.
Catsup, sure,
dot.
but I wouldn't put ketchup on it.
What's the catsup
No.
ketchup distinction?
Well, there's no time to go into it now. We gotta give our answer.
We're not starting that
Answers.
tonight.
Deflection. I have no idea what this is. Which way do I need to move this?
Old Bay bratwurst, currywurst,
Yes, I made that
currywurst, and
In
currywurst.
Baltimore.
You know, because I've never heard of currywurst. But yeah, I knew that I had to come up with a certain spice blend, and there's sausage and so that I've never heard of currywurst.
If you're
I
in
just wrote
Berlin or Ulmer,
worst, because I was like, oh, it's German, it's worst, something worst, and then my brain worked.
It said spice, and I was like, what? Well, think of all the worsts. Which one might have spices? That's what I did. But I
What's the
bet you,
worst
Leah, that
worst?
you can definitely get an Old Bay worst in Baltimore. You can get an Old Bay everything.
I would try an Old Bay worst.
they snort it right off their hand there.
Honestly, I've had Old Bay chocolate. You can.
Mm.
Old Bay fries are delicious, though. Definitely recommend.
We have Old Bay in the closet. I think the only thing I've ever used it for was a Bloody Mary.
Oh, that's a good use. Yeah.
It was really good.
Old Bay chocolate.
If you have Old Bay, go look up some recipes. It's a versatile spice blend.
Sounds like there's too much mercury in the Patapsco to me. Oh, wait.
All right. Before I expand upon Old Bay recipe hour, AJ, what's our next question?
For the record, that was a point for everybody but Leah on that question. In Bohemian Rhapsody, whose name comes after the line, "Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me"?
There's a lot of proper nouns in that song.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure that when he said, "I'm just a poor boy," he wasn't saying that he was a sandwich. Although that would add an interesting new dimension to the song.
I'm just a Po boy from a Po
Yeah.
family. A family on the Po River.
I'm never
So
gonna unhear that now. It's always gonna be about a sandwich from now on.
Nobody loves me.
I love the story of supposedly Brian May got a preview copy of Wayne's World and showed it to Freddie Mercury basically like on his deathbed. And it was the first time like Freddie Mercury had laughed in a while. And absolutely loved it.
A very
and then
sweet
passed
story.
away before the actual film was released.
It had his blessing.
Yeah, I think that's so sweet. So yeah, I'm of the generation, and maybe the generation spans more than a generation that just cannot hear that song without starting to headbang at that one point, because yeah, I was in high school when Wayne's World came out, so yeah.
In the chat, Wozoum says Scaramucci. This joke will only be funny for like a couple more years before we all forget. But it's still good.
With any
really,
luck.
really hope we all forget.
A lot of really weird shit happened during the previous administration.
Moment of silence. Another moment of silence for.
Scaramucci.
I'm sure
Well,
we.
Thunderbolt and lightning. It had to be Thor, right?
They do say Scaramouche, right?
Yeah,
But-
Scaramouche,
Yes.
Yeah.
Italian clown
Fandango,
character.
and all that.
Well, you do that.
Don't know why they need to look up movie times, but
All right. What is it?
Galileo, that's points all around for everybody.
You should have pointed. Yeah, Galileo, Galileo, Galileo,
We've
Galileo.
done it right here.
Magnifico. Well, yeah,
Let's harmonize real quick.
Well, if it weren't for Zoom timing not being the greatest, that would be fun.
Yeah, it's not designed for
Fun
us
for-
to sing together.
Fun for whom? Yeah.
This is fun for us.
Well, fun for me. Maybe fun for the audience who gets to laugh at us.
Or not fun for the audience's ears that have to hear us. Well, that was
I did
much more
karaoke over the
uplifting.
weekend. I've already embarrassed myself in front of
You did
others.
karaoke?
What you saying?
Only the Good Die Young, Billy Joel.
That's a good one.
At a
Mhm,
wake.
It is a good one.
At a wake.
At a wake?
All right, I wasn't thinking. I was the second person on the mic. No one was going up there, and that's the song I could do the best. So I was like, oh, well, someone needs to get this wake started, the party at the wake. And I went
Well-
up to go sing. And then someone yelled too soon when I was done.
Why all the long faces out there? Yeah.
Well, the
How
key
old was the
question.
person who died, though?
Tough room.
Not young.
Not young. Well, the other question is, did anybody say it's what they would have wanted?
Nope.
I say that even if it's not true, cover your tracks. It's too late for them to correct you.
For the record, just putting it out here for posterity, I want a duet of Lady Gaga telephone. That's what I'd like at my wake.
For the record, I like a Princess Bat Dance, please.
Oh, ooh,
I
good
think
one.
it would really spice up the affair.
I'd also like the Macarena. So
I
it's gonna be a weird wake.
I also want, for the record, my wife says in chat that I did great. For the
Oh.
record.
And also
That's
that
sweet.
the deceased would have gotten a kick out of it.
Our producer gave us the background on the Freddie Mercury thing. If we can read that, mind if I do that, or
Yeah, go for it.
Can you do it in a
It says-
British accent?
Probably not. You probably don't want to hear that.
Okay.
I'll try. You, Mike, did get me the videotape made divulges to Ainsworld creator and star Canadian. Really, Jaleesa should be doing this. Canadian comedian Mike Myers. It was a VHS or something. I took it round to Freddie not long before he. Besides, I think this is Mike Myers talking. And that no wait. Anyway, I took it round to Freddie not long before he went and showed it to him because you said you wanted to have that approval. And he loved it. He just laughed and laughed. He was very weak, but he just smiled and laughed. How wonderful is that?
Oh.
We successfully brought it back, folks.
Yes. All right. AJ, maybe something else where we don't end up talking about death? Who knows though? Maybe it's the theme of the day.
Well, okay. They're probably unrelated, but Scott Schwartz spiraled into a porn career after getting his tongue stuck to a frozen pole in what holiday movie?
Well, that's a twist.
I remember seeing, I think it was on VH1, an ad for like a sort of a teaser for some sort of like a behind the music style special that was called From Child Star to Porn Star about Scott Schwartz.
Not Dustin Diamond?
And I think I remember the name of his porno film from that from that teaser. I believe it was called Scotty's X-Rated Adventure.
Well,
That's not as funny as I thought it was going to be.
No, it was
It's pretty
not a good title.
I would like to talk to the people who were in charge of programming at VH1 in the late 90s, early aughts.
Don't quote me on that. Please don't sue me, VH1, if it wasn't you who ran it.
There were some really weird things going on there. Pop-up video is a classic though.
Mm.
Oh, our producer says that yes, it was called Scotty's X-Rated Adventure. You're good.
Good. I'm glad that one stuck around and eating up neurons for however many years. Maybe, you know, if we read the question today, I probably wouldn't say spiraled. I feel like that's almost it could be like rose up to a porn career. I mean, it was just
That's
a small
true.
role.
Consider,
Tobin.
you know, how many other child stars from that movie are doing anything now?
It was a pretty small role in this film, and I believe he starred in the porno, so you could
Yeah.
argue that's a
Top
step up.
billing.
He moved up to leading roles.
Yeah.
Question is he happy?
Yeah, as long as his
And-
following is bliss.
And also, does his tongue get stuck to a frozen pole?
If you
In
know
the
what I mean. If you know what I mean.
Honestly, it
They
has
should
to.
they should have done that. If
They-
they
it has
well,
to.
Right?
If it didn't happen in Scotty's X-rated adventure, then hopefully it happened in one of his subsequent releases.
it's really
I'm sure he got around to it
so
eventually.
to speak.
Scotty's X-Rated Christmas Adventure.
Man, I'm trying to think of a better
What was
Scotty
the
Schwartz
crossover
porn
with
title.
Harold and Kumar?
All right, answers.
Oh yeah.
A Christmas story all around. Once again, points for everybody.
I'm from
I really
Ohio,
hope that there was a leg lamp in that porno.
and the house is in Ohio, and that's the only reason I know anything about that film. I've never seen it.
Yeah, so next year when we have to update the Christmas story theme quiz, I'm so finding a way to get this in.
Something that
Please
always
find out if his tongue gets stuck to a pole in that X-rated film.
Like, we don't normally ask questions about what is this, the cast members' other projects, but gotta find a way. Gotta find a way.
You can expense that film purchase.
It's for
That's
science.
deductible.
and I hope you do. I
That's
think in
Not
a
what I
Chris-
planned to do, but
Theme quiz editors a thankless job.
Gotta blow off some steam. You know, if I remember correctly, he played a character in that film named Flick, and there was another character named Schwartz. Why didn't they cast him as Schwartz? That always drove me nuts.
or at
I'm gonna
least
write the
change the
director.
names or whatever.
Yes,
I mean,
something.
Well, they were good in their respective roles, and the names were, it's based on a book, so I don't think they really could have.
Just a coincidence, maybe. You're right.
Just a coincidence, yeah.
Yeah. All right, AJ, can we have our next question?
Or a story, not a book.
Your next question, and I think we're finally getting into something in your wheelhouse, Nicole.
Oh, thanks. I'm doing okay though.
Stealing plans from the titular Nazi fortress was the objective of what 1981 computer game with a more famous 3D version?
Why would you think I know this?
Yeah, that's what he does. Have you caught on to that yet?
He sets us up to bring us back down.
two video game questions in the same block. It must be my birthday. Oh my
It's
gosh.
too
So
many.
I remember when we got our first computer, and my dad was looking for games to download for me, and he started the shareware version of this, the 3D one. And I remember my mother coming in and asking about the games that he's downloading and everything, and he described this one a little bit, and she's like, I don't know about a game with Nazis in it. Eric's quite young. And then my dad said, well, you shoot the Nazis in it. Oh, all right then. That was the other conversation.
So
You were
her
too
only
young to learn how to
objection-
shoot Nazis.
And then it never worked on that computer because it wasn't a very good
What an
computer. And I went back
anticlimax.
to Commander Keen.
Classic.
So she just wanted them to be like NPCs, right? As long as they weren't like, you weren't going to sympathize with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this game was not shy about them being Nazis. Like, there were portraits of Hitler hanging up in this game. This game has subsequently made the jump up to the newer generation of consoles, and you actually go and meet Hitler, and Ronald Reagan is an actor trying out for a part in Hitler's new movie.
Story checks out.
This is in the new Hitler future, by the way.
Yeah, this is on the planet Venus, of course.
Also, great
Why
job
wouldn't it
working in World War II and Nazis twice into this technically.
Maybe
correct.
it's maybe the two is the theme. There's a hidden theme in the question. Always be on the lookout for that. Is yeah, classic series.
For the record, I have no idea.
I changed my mind.
Or do you know it now?
Oh, okay, that makes
No,
sense.
I'm still
Yeah.
wrong.
The Man in the High Castle.
Isn't that about Nazis?
I mean,
It is, in fact.
It is about Nazis.
Doom Escape from
It's
Castle
not-
Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein. It was Wolfenstein. That's a point each for both of the Erics.
Mhm.
I think one of them was called Escape from Castle Wolfenstein or something like that.
Is it a fun game? Like, should we play it?
It's basically Doom.
Yeah.
Half a point for Leah.
If you like the
Yeah.
original Doom, you probably enjoy
just
the original.
replace the otherworldly monsters with Nazis, and that's Wolfenstein.
My
So-
Lieben!
I don't know anything
So
about
play
either
Doom
one of them,
instead.
except that Doom was kind of 3D-ish. So that's it. That's the extent of my knowledge. But I know a lot more about The Man in the High Castle because the TV series is really good.
It's
Oh, Money Heist. And I was like, that's not what that is.
crazy
And then I
book.
was like, something that I know has Nazis in it. Man in the High Castle.
I was impressed that they turned that into a TV show with any like coherence because the book is bonkers. Philip K. Dick was out of his mind, and that book it was written. He was using what's it called, the Tao Te Ching, the Chinese Book of Changes. He would like throw lots into them, and like whatever the results that gave him, he would write the book around that. Yeah, bizarre. book.
That's
Pretty-
interesting. I haven't read the book, but I kind of want to now.
Give it, yeah, it's fascinating, just like the man himself.
Yeah. AJ, I think we have one more question, right?
We do, in fact, have a final question for this round.
Hey.
Named for a local bird and not a clue murder weapon. What San Francisco sports venue hosted the Beatles' last live concert?
Ooh.
The Lead pipe arena.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Wrench field. Let's just go through. We'll go through all of them.
Except for the right one, because we are supposed to avoid that
Of
one.
course.
I don't know though.
They should really. Have they? I know they've released like new versions of Clue where they swap out some of the more old-fashioned characters.
Yeah.
Like, there's Professor Orchid now instead of Mrs. White, I think.
Yes.
Did they ever update the weapons so they're more?
Oh, is she a lady professor?
Yes.
Yes.
She's an
Nice.
Asian lady professor.
A botanist, I think. Based on her name alone, I'm guessing that. But did they ever upgrade the weapons to? I don't know. I guess you could still kill people.
Weapons are weapons.
Yeah.
Wrenches
Yeah.
are still doing the job.
Yeah, I'm
But-
sure there are current weapons, but I don't know if the Clue creators want you to know that they know what they are, because that would be kind of fishy. Yeah, just use the old classics.
Afraid that kids might
Oh.
get some wrong ideas.
Apparently they
producer.
added some though.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
A trophy, an axe, and a baseball bat.
Yeah, I don't know. They're all about bludgeoning weapons in Clue. I think
A lot of them.
there's the revolver and the rope, but aside from that, they're pretty much all
A knife, I think. Too?
things that you was that? Oh yeah, there was a
There was a
knife. Yeah,
knife.
there's a knife. Yep. Yeah,
But mostly
there are
very.
quite a few. Yeah.
Mostly very like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna repeat myself again. So go for it.
Mostly very like brutal and intense and personal ways of killing somebody. Very few
True.
clean deaths in the world of Clue.
No
They were-
hemlock, no arsenic,
Exactly.
Yeah, no one got that creative.
No.
no pillowcases.
No. Gentle.
So Nicole, hopefully nobody in your orbit is going to be killed by pillowcase anytime.
No, but like that's you know, you could
I
make it
know
sound
what
like
you
that.
No, I know what you're
While they're
talking
asleep, the little gentle pillowcase.
about. Mm.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
All right, answers.
Wrench,
I'm-
Candlestick Park,
How do I-
Candlestick Park, Candlestick. That's a point for everybody but Eric
Having
Cohen.
Trouble with the mirror image here.
Nobody said anything but candlestick. Everybody said every weapon except candlestick.
Go
and
through
I was
all of
like,
them except
"Don't do
Candle.
that
We may have,
one."
yeah.
Did we kid them all? Were there any that we missed?
I think we
No,
got all
we
the
talked about all of
classics.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay, we did
I
it.
figured a wren exists. Maybe there's a bird called a wrench.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of birds.
I follow that logic, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the end of our questions for this week. But we do have one thing for you to vote on after all, which is the winner of our show by popularity. AJ will pop up a poll and you can choose the panelist who you thought did the best job tonight by whatever criteria you like. Before then, though, there is at least one quantifiable measurement available to us. AJ, who scored highest during the technically incorrect round?
Scoring highest in the technically incorrect round with 5 answers was Eric Keel.
Oh, the fix is in.
Yeah. It had the Eric block wins again.
50% chance of an Eric victory tonight.
It's like the Monty Hall problem.
Well, that's cool. Congratulations to Eric K and not the other Eric K. Sorry, other Eric K. But of course, you
Typical.
can choose the winner however you like. Either way, we're going to find out who it is right after one more little break. See you in a few.
Oh, that's a great idea. I wish the pillow was a weapon in Clue.
Those are weapons.
And they can be, absolutely.
Have you ever seen like an old timey movie where someone strangled someone?
Absolutely. I think that's a great,
Yeah.
it's very subtle. And then like
Oh.
Jared.
Or no, just Nicole, Leah, Eric K.
Make him guess.
It's chaos.
Chaos.
I see what you did
I see
there.
what you did there.
What's it like a modern Clue weapon? Like a ebook reader?
A taser.
Taser, yeah.
Uh,
Non-lethal bullets. Yeah.
Vape pen.
Cryptocurrency mining server falls on their head.
Faulty vape pen. I like that. That's a good one. Shoddily made vape pen.
Scooter accident. Scooter with its brakes cut.
You all are thinking of many more means of death than I can, so I feel like I am safe of accusations, although I don't know if I'm going to visit any of you soon.
I would never murder someone
This is
with a
fair and
pillowcase
safe.
or a scooter.
Neither would I, Nicole. Wink, wink, wink. We're definitely not going to crisscross murders. Wink, wink, wink.
I heard we're still broadcasting, which makes us even more implicated. Okay, audience. Remember, the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and by following us on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and the Gram. Also here on YouTube. Like us, subscribe us. Without further ado, AJ, who is our winner?
Our winner tonight with 50% of the total vote was Eric Keel.
All right.
Oh, twofer.
Nice. I'm going to take my winner's prize and then use it to put even more Nazi questions in the next week's edition. I'm technically correct. Look forward to that, gentle viewers.
Just make sure that you make them uplifting.
Always. What other kind is there?
Well, friends, thanks for watching as always. We are taking a hiatus and cooking up some new funs and games. I'm sticking by it. Funs and games. So never fear, Pio's mom. Keep up with us on the socials, and soon we'll have new and interesting ways for Pio to tell us the wrong way to eat fruit. So long for now.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.